Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robert. This is DKN Show. Hope you're having a nice night. I am currently at work myself right now, and I'm just having a little break. So I figured I'd get on here and talk to you guys a little bit before I went back to work. For centuries, Africans have endured a lot. We've been enslaved, we've been whooped, been jailed, hung, stabbed, talked about, whatever. And it's not just here in the United States either, it's pretty much everywhere. And it got me thinking that I believe that any person that's African or African American, they have no love from anybody in this country, or the world for that matter. And even the ones that know exactly what's going on with Africans and everything, they still probably are scared if we try to, do whatever they think we're going to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There are bad African Americans out there that will kill you just to say good morning wrong. And there are some that just don't give a damn. But every race has their problems. Every race has their problematic people. But it seems that the African American or African period is treated like that no matter what's going on. And just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, back in 1984, me and my brother was walking to the store to get my mom some cigarettes. It's a regular day. It was in winter, and it was a cold that day, so we both had our jackets on, and we were walking to the store. Me and my brother are very tight, so so whenever he went somewhere, I went along with him because that's how we roll. But anyway, this lady comes out, this older white lady comes out, and she pushes my brother out the way, and she puts his bat in my face and says, "Your ass is going to jail." Now, I must mind you, I'm about maybe 9-10 years old or something like that, and I'm wondering why she got this bat in my face. So my brother is a little bit more militant than I am. He says, "What are you talking about?" So it turns out there was two kids in my neighborhood, also African American, that beat up her son. And she automatically thought it was me and my brother. And we were like, "No, man, we would never do anything like that," even though she was calling us all kind of colorful names and everything, and I mean some real colorful ones. We were like, "Ma'am, we didn't know what you're talking about. We didn't do anything, whatever." She followed us all the way to the store with this bat in her hand, talking about, "Your little, nigger ass is going to jail." So I'm scared to death. My brother's like, "Look, we didn't do anything, so can you just go on some damn where, please?" And she did. She left. After she called the cops, that is. So by this time, we walk outside, and there's a gigantic mob right in front of the door. All white people. Yelling at us, talking about, "We're going to hang your ass, and you guys are going to get beat the crap out of," and yada, 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 yada. And I'm scared to death. I'm like, what in the hell is going on here? We didn't do a damn thing. Okay? So then the cop shows up. Oh, Kansas City finest. Didn't ask us what was going on. Didn't ask us what was the deal. Nothing. He grabbed me, he grabbed my brother, and dragged us to the car and said, "You both are going to jail." We didn't even explain our case to this man. And he handcuffed my brother because my brother was being like, "I'm not going any damn where." And of course, he's like, "Oh, the hell you are." And he grabbed him, and put him in handcuffs and threw him into the back of the car. And also threw me in there as well. Now, by this time, I'm bawling like a girl now. So I'm just like, what the hell's going on, And one thing led to another, and we're in the back of this police car. My brother's like, we didn't do shit. So the lady comes back with her son. He's probably about maybe 12 years old. Walks over to the car, and they open the door, and the cop was like, "Now, son, are these the two kids that jumped you?" I looked at the kid looked at me, he looked at my brother, and he says, "No, Mom, that's not them." So instead of being like, oh crap, I am so sorry, no, she grabs her son by the collar and says, you tell this cop that these two niggers killed you or beat you up. I'm going to beat your ass. No, he said, no, that's not them. So one thing led to another, and we were, my brother was taken out the car and the handcuffs were taken off. And the cop put my brother in the front seat. I'm in the back. Still crying, by the way, but I'm in the back seat. And he tells my brother that, and these words have been with me for 35 years. I can remember him saying this just like he said it yesterday. He says, when a cop tells you to do something, just do it. Don't fight them, because you can really get hurt if you do. There was no apologies from either the woman, her son, or this police officer. The mob that was around us when we came out the store just completely dissipated when the cops showed up. The only person that defended us this entire time this was going on was a store manager. He knew both of us. We've been coming to that store for years. And he knew that we didn't do anything to this kid. But his word was pretty much nothing either, because they still threw us in the back of his car and called us a couple of criminals. So I say to myself that Africans of any kind of Africans or whatever are hated. We'll be hated now. We'll be hated 20 years from now, 100 years from now. In the eyes of other people, we ain't crap. We are the doo-doo stain of the entire earth, basically. If we all died right now, probably half the people in America probably won't even give a damn. And it's really, really sad that even now, in 2019, soon to be 2020, racism is still a big damn thing. I guess that's probably why I like sci-fi so much, especially like Star Trek. Now, Star Trek, the original Star Trek, had a very diverse crew. Had a Chinese, had a Japanese, had Americans, African American, Vulcan, and Russian. Oh, and yes, Scottish, too. Very diverse group. First time ever that they had that many people in one show at one time. And that's why I love that franchise. And I'm thinking that's why Gene Roddenberry made it that way. But life does not imitate art. And especially in this day and age where we got a president that doesn't want anything that doesn't look American walking around in America. And it bores me to no damn end. It's like, okay, that whole give me your tire, give me your pour and everything, that doesn't apply now because we're in the 21st century. I mean, where the hell is that at now? I mean, the whole entire country is made by immigrants. Nobody is actually pure of anything. Myself, I'm actually African American and half Indian. At least Indian blooded, that is. Okay? My last name is Irish. It's McCormick. Just like the whiskey. I am Missourian by birth. And so on and so on. But if I get pulled over by a police officer or get approached by a bunch of guys that just have nothing else better to do than harass me because I'm an African American, you're part of the damn problem. And it's very, very sad that we're still thinking that way. It really is. I have, I have friends of all spectrums, of all life and stuff like that. And for us to be still fighting over this stuff is really, really, really sad. It really is. I love all my friends, whether white, black, Mexican, whatever, and hopefully they love me, because it's just really sad, And now that African Americans are once again being randomly picked out for dumb stuff, it feels like the 1950s and 60s all over again. Hell, 19 anything again. And we're converting back to when white was right and black is ain't crap and whatever else is other foreign person, It's sad. Really, really sad. That even now we still think that way. But hopefully, which I'm pretty sure it'll never be that way because I'll be dead before that happens, that we can all coexist in one voice. But Africans are hated everywhere. We are seen as second-rate citizens. Nothing. We ain't crap. If we get if somebody African American gets killed up here, it's just a black guy that got killed. They didn't even make an effort to even find the guy that did it. Most times it's because of another African American. And it's stupid. And I don't think we'll ever learn. Ever. I really don't. It's a sad situation, but it's true. So, only thing I can say is that I pray to God that I'm around long enough to see my daughter graduate from high school, or college for that matter. And hopefully she won't be harassed because of what she is. But I seriously doubt it. Because right now, somewhere in this country, there is a redneck or skinhead or racist person teaching their kids to say that black people and other races like black people are beneath them. Right this moment. They're learning that from their parents or their grandparents or both or whatever. And that's how racism keeps going. It's something you ain't born with racism. You were taught it. And if you keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it, the kid or the person that you're telling this to will start to believe it. And that's the most scariest part of this whole thing, is that it's actually happening right now. And we just don't know it yet. And I've been a security officer almost 20 years. And in that 20 years, I've been pulled over by several different police officers asking me, what do I do for a living? Now, most times I had a shirt on that's had security on it, and it has a badge on it or whatever like that, and I'm like, I'm a security officer. They don't even give a damn about that. In your eye, you ain't crap. So this goes to show you that no matter what you wear, what you do, how smart you are, how clean you are, where you live at, or whatever else is that, they don't see any of that. They see what's right in front of them, which is African American or African, period. And we don't like you. So we're going to let you know that. And that is what part of what's wrong with this damn country. It really is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I sign off with try to love one another, please, because you never know what the next day will bring. And if you have friends of African American descent or African American, period, they're people just like you. And appreciate that. Because they could have been just like you and say, well, I don't want to be around any crackers either. But that's the way of the world. So, you guys take care. You have a nice night. God bless you. And I will see you all down the road. Take care.